respond to us with text a lot. So I was just curious about that.
So your first choice is to call, but if they're not going to answer, texting is okay.
Okay.
As long as it's a conversation, right? And that's the important piece, is that it's, what I don't want you to do is get caught up into the only texting. I think people are afraid of this thing. They feel like it weighs 2,000 pounds, but we have a relationship business. And so the best way to have a relationship is to actually speak to people.
Okay.
Right.
Also, I thought about putting in there is like, is there a good time to call so we can talk, or?
Exactly. I want to catch up. What's a good time? That would be a great text.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Poor Amanda. She keeps jumping in and out. Not sure why. There you are again. You keep jumping in and out, kiddo. Welcome to our group coaching topic this afternoon, and it is the MREA Mastermind. So who on the call, besides Sharika, because I know Sharika knows, who knows what the MREA stands for? Anybody? Lori?
$1 million real estate agent.
Yeah, that's right. The MREA is our Millionaire Real Estate Agent Handbook, and it really is a guide to building your business. So today I have something special for you. I'm going to share with you a video on an agent in our area. She happens to be the daughter of our regional owner, so she is amazing. And they're going to talk for a few minutes about, and what I want you to do is take some notes on some things that you hear. I want to hear you to hear the conversation that these two are having, and some things that she mentions or that he mentions that you think, oh, this is important. This is important. And then we're going to review that afterwards. Okay. So bear with me for a second while I get this up. All right. Can everybody see this video?
Yes.
All right. So let's hope that you guys can hear it. All right. So here we go. It's only 7 minutes long.
We're in on just into quarter 4.
Yep. So we are on track. We just had our summit last week, so I'm pretty fresh in those numbers. And we are looking, I think we've got 164 pending and closed. So we're looking.
Okay, sorry, I'm starting you at the beginning.
All right, good afternoon, Keller Williams. David Voorhees here with the one and only.
Can everybody hear that?
Yes.
Yes, okay, all right, I wanted to make sure. Here we go.
Anna Klinsky, Anna, fresh off of quite the performance at MegaCamp in the script battle. You are our champion, am I wrong?
You are correct.
Yeah, so you are here with the inaugural script off champion, Anna Klinsky. We're not going to talk about scripts today, though. This would be an opportune time. Tell us a little bit about you for those that don't know us.
Absolutely. Anna Klinsky. I'm in the in-town Atlanta market here, and right in the heart of Atlanta. We have 11 people now, actually up 3 from 2 weeks ago. We hired a couple more salespeople and an operations person. So we've got 7 agents that are in production, including myself. I spend half my time CEOing as well as doing listings. And then we've got 4 really awesome hands-on operations folks. And right now, I think we're really excited about what's happened in 2020. It's been a blessing and a curse on some aspects, but right now, I think we're targeting for our best year ever. And if anybody's an MREA follower, which I'm assuming everybody is, I think this might be the first year we might actually net $1 million. So I'm really excited about that.
That is super exciting. So what does that look like from a units perspective this year? Where do you think you're going to hit? We're in on just into quarter 4.
Yep. So we are on track. We just had our summit last week, so I'm pretty fresh in those numbers. And we are looking, I think we've got 164 pending and closed. So we're looking to hit just shy of 200 before the end of the year. And did you ask me about volume too?
No, whatever you want. I mean, but 200 units is pretty awesome and in a great market. And to hit, fingers crossed, your first $1 million net year, that'd be pretty impressive. So what we want to talk about today is we've worked together a lot as it comes to our technology command. And you and your team have been beating down my door for what was for a long time known as the special button. That special button is now known to everyone as the client update that lives inside of the task list in opportunities. And so you guys have had a chance to start using this. Tell us all about how you're using it and why you found it so powerful.
Well, you are very polite in how you phrase that. Relentless might be a better word for what we were trying to accomplish with the special button. But client updates is incredibly important to us. We've been very spoiled to have technology in the past that allows us to create this seller and buyer transparency throughout the transaction. You know, one of the things that I learned early on in the business is that, you know, the things that people tend to complain about their past real estate agents that they worked with is they never really felt like they knew what was going on, or they felt like they had a lack of communication during the process, that there was a lot of selling and telling on the front end of the process. And then you would get the listing agreement signed, you would get the buyer brokerage signed, and then quiet. And what I really love about the seller updates and the client updates on both sides is literally I don't have to convince my clients that I'm working for them every day. They can see in their inbox on a weekly or a daily or a monthly basis everything that myself and my team are doing to generate a buyer for their listing or to help them find their perfect home. So it's really set ourselves apart in the Atlanta market, because I don't think a lot of agents have had the same technology that we've had in the past. And kind of going back to the whole concept of why command is at the center of everything that we're doing, is we're really trying to minimize all of the technological fees and the bolt-on technology that we're using that's, you know, ruining our P&L. So this is a really great feature that we have that really allowed us to kind of let go of one of our key pieces of technology.
That's awesome. You know, I think it was a big thing for me. I was really passionate about the client updates coming into command for the exact same reason, right? There's so many things that happen throughout either the seller or the buyer journey that we're doing on behalf of our clients that they never know we do, right? Our transaction managers are checking on escrow, they're checking with the lender, and we're checking on inspection. We're doing all of this stuff. And as agents, we don't do a very good job of letting our people know, this is what I did for you today. This is what I did for you today to earn my commission. And the client update is just an automated way. I think what I heard you say, it's an automated way to let them know, here's what we did for you today, right? We started a Facebook ad on your listing, or we scheduled your inspection. So that's super awesome. And it allowed you, it sounds like, at least in portion, to maybe get to that $1 million, because it allowed you to let go of a piece of technology that was doing this for you in the past.
Yeah, but also we're creating leverage for our operations people. So if I really were to like calculate all the hours that my listing manager spends calling our sellers, you know, every couple of days to let them know what we've done, or our contract to close manager, she's constantly updating the file, letting somebody know the appraisal came in, letting them know that we got clear title from the closing attorney. You know, all these things are really important steps, but it can become very cumbersome from a time perspective. So I think the ROI on the special button is I'm sure I can tie it very clearly to a P&L item on what I pay my staff. Like what are they worth per hour, and what are the efficiencies that they can have as a result of being able for their sellers and buyers to see exactly what's happening. So I love that piece because they feel more leveraged and they feel less taxed by all the updates that they need to give. The other thing I really love, we love working with first-time home buyers and sellers, but I also really love working with non-first-time home buyers and sellers, because if I hadn't been their agent in the past and I'm rolling into a listing appointment and I can already show them all the things that I've done to prepare to list their house for sale before we even met on an appointment, they're simply just blown away by the fact that we have a system, the fact that we have a plan. And you all have heard me talk a lot about how buyers and sellers just want the feeling of certainty. They want to feel like they're in control. And there's no better way to give somebody the feeling of being in control than showing them your plan and your system for how you're going to generate a desired result. So I say, look, $100,000, $2 million property. Yes, we have different bells and whistles, but we have a proven track record on how we sell homes and how we get buyers into homes. And this is what it looks like. And if they've worked with another agent in the past that didn't communicate with them, we already have 5 stars on the front end.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. So often agents go into listing appointments or to buyer's appointments, and there's a lot of talk on the front end about all the stuff they'll do for you. And whether or not they deliver is in the eye of the client. And the client update allows me to let you know, I just delivered on this, exactly what I said I was going to do. And I delivered on this, I delivered on this, and I delivered So we really, really appreciate the time today. If you guys haven't checked out client updates, they're inside of opportunities in the task list. Go check them out, and maybe you could supercharge your business on the way to $1 million net like Anna Kalinsky.
Okay. What did you take away from that?
I really like the idea of it, as far as like staying organized and communication. I'm really big on communication, so.
Mhm. And your clients want that, right? That's a given. They want to be in the know. What
And
else?
that's what I would want. So that's, I would like to, be able to provide that as well. So.
Exactly. What else did you all hear?
Again, systems.
Systems. You heard her say systems how many times?
Oh my gosh.
3, 4, right? So it's systems in place. And we have systems, which is great. We need to use them. What else did you hear?
Technology.
What about the technology?
Return on
investment. Return on investment, yes. Talk to me about the technology. Was that Sharka?
Yeah, I heard that we don't have to spend our own money when we have command already at our fingertips available to us, and we don't she talked about P&L.
Yes.
So I asked myself, wait, why don't I know about tasks? I'm not using it. So that's what I heard, that I should be using the technology we have at our fingertips to use that.
Exactly. There's no reason, and trust me, for you newer agents, you are going to be bombarded with people calling you with this amazing system or this amazing tool or this amazing resource, and it's going to help you be faster, quicker, easier. You have all that at your disposal, and it costs you nothing additionally than what you're already paying. So why spend money on something when you already have it? Okay. What else did you hear?
It's me again. I had never, I don't think I had ever associated the sense of a client feeling in control when they get the updates. I didn't make that connection.
And it's a really important connection. Don't you agree? I mean, let's face it, these people don't know what's going on. There's a lot of things. And from a buyer side, they're being bombarded by the lender a lot, right? I need this, I need this, I need this, right? So, and they have to work on their insurance. They have to work on this. They have to work on this. Suddenly they go from, oh, I think I'd like to buy a house, to suddenly, boom, right? But if they know what you're doing and keeping on track, it does help give them a sense of control and a sense of knowing the direction that they're headed. For sure. From a listing perspective, they just want to be in the know, even if it means nothing. I mean, I got a listing that's sitting, we had a Zoom meeting today for a half an hour where we talked about strategy and we laid out exactly what I got them to agree to drop price $50,000. But it's because I've been communicating all along. So it made it easy to have that conversation because they knew what's been going on and what we've been doing, and that it's still overpriced. So communication is critical. What else did you hear? Let me ask you this. When you heard Anna speaking, did she speak like a real estate agent or did she speak like a CEO?
CEO for sure.
Okay. Anybody else? Are you guys in agreement with that? Jim?
Yeah, I agree. She spoke like a CEO. She didn't sound like a real estate agent at all.
At all. Okay. And we are in the same boat. You are the CEO of your business. Gary Keller wrote the MREA for us to be our own business owner, not to be a real estate agent. There's a difference between what we call the blue hairs that are down in Buckhead and they're still selling property because they've never had a business plan. They just sell real estate and they're going to do it until they're in the grave because that's all they know, and they haven't planned strategically. From day one, Gary Keller encourages us to run our business like a business. So you heard words like CEO. Her support staff, she used leverage a lot, that word, right? She talked about ROI, systems, communication, transparency with our clients, right? I want you to know from day one, there is no reason why you can't treat yourself as a business owner, because you are, right? You have a business that you run. Our job is to make sure that you're doing it effectively, and that means leverage. So Anna mentioned she has 11 staff. Now she's going to do about 200 units. My daughter, Amanda, she does about 100 units a year, and she does it with 3 staff members. She's got herself, she's got an admin, she's got a contract to close person, and a runner. So for her plus 3 others, and she's able to do about 100 units a year. So having leverage is important because it allows you to focus on what you need to do, and that is your job description. Who knows our job description? I know a few of you out there do. Lori does, Jim does, Melissa should, Janice does. What's our job description?
Lead generate, lead
Lead.
follow up,
Mhm.
go to appointments, negotiate contract, and script mastering.
That's right, and script mastery. That's another thing I'd like to bring up. So Anna Kalinsky at Mega Camp, which just got done a few weeks ago, they had this new thing that they did where they had seasoned agents competing one against the other for a script champion, and Anna Kalinsky won. So in all of the thousands and thousands of real estate agents that are out there, she in Atlanta was our champion for Mega Camp, which was awesome. Do you think she knows her scripts?
I'm sure she does.
Absolutely. She knows them forwards and backwards. And she had some really great tie downs. She had some drop the mic messages that she did, never like showing off about it, but just very honest and sincere. But she could roll it off one right after the other. So our biggest job is to have our script mastery. And then there are the 3 pillars. You're going to want to write this down if you don't already have it. The MREA is built on the 3 pillars, and it's our 3 L's. Anybody got an idea of what those 3 L's are? And Sharka, I know you probably know this. Regina, you probably do too. What could they be? Our 3 L's.
Leverage,
Listings,
Listings. What else?
lead generation.
Leads. That's right. Leads, listings, leverage. Those are our 3 pillars of building a business. When you have that, you have success. Leads are number 1. So when you're planning out your day, what comes first? Lead generation. It's got to. Okay, because leads give us listings. Leads allow us to have leverage. And leverage means looking at people or resources or tools that help us to do our job faster, quicker, easier. So one leverage that we have is command. Command is leverage, especially with this new client update button, which I think is really cool because it creates a sense of transparency and allows us to do our job faster, which is awesome. Okay. Now, listings. How does listings give us freedom and help us in business? Why is that more important than buyers? Anybody got an idea?
You have a listing, you also have a potential buyer.
Exactly. Great job, Jim. So when you have listings, it gives you leverage because it allows you to get more business. That's why we shoot for listings. It's also a reason why we want open houses. So for those of you that don't have listings, the best way to get a listing is to hold open houses, because you can get listings from open houses. It should be one of your plans in place. All right. You do an open house at a high level, and it will allow you to get clients in that area. Right? So we've got listings, we've got leads, and we've got leverage. So how do we get leads? Sharika, I'm curious, how do you get your leads?
I get my leads through my sphere of influence, referrals, and my third best way is open houses.
Open houses. Okay. So I hope you just heard that. She has three main ways that she gets business. She gets them from her sphere of influence. She gets them from referrals from her sphere of influence and her past clients, and she gets them from open houses. She didn't give us a litany of how many she's got. She focused on three.
Yeah.
Really great agents have basically three sources of income, ways to get leads. As a newer agent, it's really easy to go, oh, squirrel, oh. There's all these ideas out there, and you get so overwhelmed. Is anybody feeling overwhelmed with the amount of volume and stuff that we've got at our disposal? Absolutely. So focusing on three at a time is a really great idea. One of yours is your sphere of influence. Let me brag on Jim for a minute. Jim let everybody know in his sphere that he was in real estate and how excited he was. Saturday, he gets a call from a buddy that he plays poker with, right? Right, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talked to him about a week ago, actually.
Exactly. So he called him, let him know. He called him. He said, Jim, we need an agent and we need him now. He went out and showed the property. We got him under contract and they went binding yesterday. 315, I think. No, 322.5 for his first listing. I mean, first buyer. So congratulations on that. So that's where you're going to start first, is your sphere of influence. Secondly is your open houses. So for those of you that are really new, I want you to be previewing houses like crazy these next couple weeks. And then the first thing you're going to do is going to follow our plan in the MREA to get business, to get an open house. What does that look like? Sharika, when you get your open house, what day of the week do you have it locked in by?
Wednesday would be ideal to have it locked in by, or maybe even Tuesday, because there's a lot to do if you want a 7-level open house.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So you start looking for it on Monday, you lock it in on Tuesday, Wednesday at the very latest. That means you've got the address set, everything is squared away on time, it's been posted in the MLSs, and then it gives you several days for you to advertise, for you to door knock, for you to call, to put up the signs in time. There is a whole strategy around holding a 5th to 7th level open house. It's not just putting a sign in the yard and showing up. It's also
I had to put in a lot of effort. When I first started and got into real estate, I think first of all, Jen, you've always been my inspiration. I think a lot of credit goes to you for being my inspiration. So with that being said, I had held an open house with your guidance and I scheduled it and I did the 7 levels and I went door knocking in that neighborhood. And that's how I got my first listing, from door knocking for the open house. And then when I held the open house for the other agent, and then not too long after held my open house for my listing, that's how I got the next few months of business for the pretty much almost for the rest of the year, because it kept going from there. Yeah.
textbook.
And then other open houses as well, of course, during the year. But I got at least 4 or 5 clients just from that one open house, because I got a listing, more buyers, more open houses. Yeah,
Exactly.
It was a domino effect.
It is a domino effect. And once you get started, then you create this momentum. So thank you for sharing that, Sharka. It's a perfect textbook. So there was a plan in place. She followed the 5th to 7th level open house. And as a result, she got a listing. So for every open house that you hold, the expectation is you're going to have at least 2 people to add to your database and at least one either listing or a buyer, or sometimes both, because some people have a house they've got to sell and then they're going to buy. I know Gareth Griffith held an open house for me recently up here in Woodstock, and he did have one unrepresented buyer, and they had a house to sell. So he picked up two contracts as a result of holding an open house. So it's a great way to get business. So what could be a third way that we get leads? Anybody got any ideas? We've got our sphere of influence and we've got open houses. What else can we do to get business? Find people.
Referrals from our sphere of influence contacts.
Yes, you can. I'm gonna bunch that one in with sphere referrals. I mean, with your sphere right now, because really it's more of a sphere kind of referral. You can also build your referral business, right? So you've got people from all over the country that you know. So why not build up a referral network so that you've got in some of the hottest cities where people move in Atlanta, you can send people there. Let me give you an example. In case you didn't know this. Press escape. Whoops. Hold on, let me stop share it for a second. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Sorry, hold on, I didn't have this open. All right. All right, everybody can see my command, right? So over here, as you scroll down, you're going to see this button right here that shows a person in a little bubble. It's called referrals. When you click on here, it shows your referral overview. So it shows your referral network. So I've connected with 156 agents not in Atlanta from all over the country. Now, how do you know where to connect? So if you go to map, you will see a map of the United States. And you can go to, where is it? Hold on. Referral patterns down here at the bottom. Do you see this one? Now watch this. You see that? So basically what it's doing is it's telling me this is where people are in Atlanta are referring other agents to right now. I can also switch it to sending. So now I'm going to hit send, and now I'm going to hit received, and now this is all of the ones that are coming into the Atlanta market. So I've got Tucson, Arizona, Anchorage, Alaska, Prescott, Scottsdale, West Palm Beach, Corona, California, Augusta, Georgia, Tallahassee. Do you see all of these as an opportunity? I would have referral partners in every single one of these cities because that's where referrals are coming from. Make sense? Great tool. I love that.
Do you
Okay.
just randomly go on there and find agents, or is there, how do you decipher who's good and who's not?
You have the ability to narrow it down if you would like. I'm so glad you asked that question, Jim. So let's say I go here to my dashboard and I go to my referrals, right? And I can say that I've got, I go to grow my network, for example. And I can say, let me choose, let's say Tallahassee, Florida. Right now, oh, that's the referral partner patterns. I need to go to production. Sorry, hold on. Okay, I'm going to production and I'm going to go to search map and I'm going to do Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, right now there's 143 that are showing up. Now I want to narrow that down so I can change my results and I can look for other things. So I can do market centers. You can call a market center and say, and talk to somebody that's in leadership and say, I'm looking to build my referral network. Who do you know? Or you can narrow it down by actual production. And the way that you do that is they switched it. How did they change it? But it's here. Here we go. Filter. So I can say I only want people that are MAPS mastery, which means that they have coaches and they're spending $1,000 a month on coaching. Do you think that they have a big business? I would say so, yes. Luxury or commercial or land. KWYP is the young professionals. So if you want somebody young to build a business with, you can. Or somebody on an expansion team. Then you can change and choose that they have to have at least so many closings a month. I would say 20 closings, right? Or 20 listings, buy, lease, whatever it is. They attended certain events, and then you apply the filter. So by saying 20, I went from 100, now look at this, 143 showed up. I said 20 closings. Now we're only down to 27. So you can filter it any way that you want. Make sense? All right, so that's a great way to build your business. How else can you build your business? How can you get leads?
So once you filter it and find somebody that you would like to connect with, I mean, you just, I see the button to add them. I mean, do you send them a message, email? What's the next step?
Quite honestly, Jim, the best way is, again, because we're in a relationship business, I would give people a call. I'd say, hey, Jim, it's Julianne, Rivera in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm looking to build my referral network. I'm curious if you're taking on new clients or taking on referrals. I'd love to chat with you. Have a conversation, find out about their business, how long they've been in the business and what their goal is, and tell them about you and, the way that you work. Once you've done that, then you add them to your network. But if you just add them, because I've had people that of those 150 something that I've got, most of them just said, add me, add me, add me. I don't know them from Adam. So I would start totally over looking in a certain area if I didn't know the individuals. Does that make sense?
So everybody on your referral list, you've had a conversation with?
No, I have not, because a lot of people just send me, be on my referral list, be on my referral list. So no, mine is not, and I'm not recommending you do it the way I did it. I'm saying have a relationship with them and get to the point where you know who they are. I will tell you who's got a great referral business is Chris Van Zandt. That guy is so connected, and he did it all low key, like I'm telling you, and that is had relationships, connections, conversations with people, and that's how he's built his referral network, and it's big. I mean, he does probably half of his business by referrals.
Yeah, what I love about Chris is he'll tell you he's never spent a penny on advertising.
Not a penny, not a penny. He's followed the guideline. He does what I tell him to do. And that's to build it organically, but he does it consistently. That's the key, you guys. You got to be consistent, because just, oh, let me try this. Oh, let me try this. Oh, let me try this. It doesn't work. You become the master of nothing. You got to narrow it down to a couple of different things. Now, how about some other options? There are expireds. Well, let's be honest. Anything that's expired in the Atlanta market right now was overpriced or in such horrible condition and overpriced, okay? For sale by owners, that's an option as a lead source. Looking for people, they're raising their hand, they're saying, hey, I want to buy, I want to sell. Typically they're overpriced. Typically they're unrealistic about what it's going to take for them. And that's still an option for getting clients. Okay, because everybody thinks it's super easy to sell a house, and it's not, as you're learning very quickly, right? So you've got expireds, you've got for sale by owners, these are options. You also have at your disposal in command designs and your campaigns. And campaigns allows you to create inexpensive ads that you can run in Facebook and get new clients. It's working for people all over the country where they're spending very minimal amounts. And I don't want you spending a lot of money, but I'm talking minimal amounts and less than $100 a month, and they're getting leads and closing deals. Other options that you have for lead generation.
Well,
Yeah, Sharka?
sorry, I hope I'm not interrupting.
No,
but
please.
Okay, so I was gonna say, like, tying into also what Chris does and what I do is, if you're open to, you're an extrovert to some extent, then like when I meet people, it could be, I've sold random people I've met at the park a house, like just by building a relationship and starting a relationship when I've met them at the park and just talking to them and kids, life, and then work comes up in conversation. And then from there, like, hey, either they ask for your business card, and I always text them my business card. Sure, what's your number? And I keep in touch with them from there. From there onward. And they usually, it's a coincidence, I don't know, but usually anytime I meet random people, it just turns out that they have a real estate need one way or the other. About at least 70%, I would say, maybe 60% of the time out of, of all the random conversations I have. So I would suggest go out, don't stay inside the house, go to a Starbucks and sit and do your work, go somewhere else, wherever you can outside, of course, in COVID, so that you're always meeting even new people that turn into business.
That's so true, Sharka. What you focus on expands, right? If you're
Yeah.
focused on meeting new people and that they're going to have needs, they're going to show up and you're going to find them, which is great news. Okay. I got a listing from standing in line at the butcher at the Kroger. Just carried on a conversation with her, chit-chatting, and next thing you know, I'm asking her for an appointment because she said, oh, we're getting ready to sell. Great, let's schedule an appointment. So they're everywhere. We just got to look for them. Okay. Thank you for that. Other options. Doing a first-time homebuyer seminar or investment seminar. You could host it either online. You could do it in person. It's up to you, depending on COVID. It's a great way to get people involved. You can advertise it on Facebook if you want, or even through your sphere, but you can do those. What else? Oh, vendors. You all should have a list of vendors that you use. Vendors like painters, contractors, electricians, plumbers, landscapers, general contractors, roofers. Who else? Lawyers, CPAs. You name it, anything in the area, right? And so one of the best ways to really build up your business is to start calling around and asking people, I'm curious, are you taking on new clients? If the answer is yes, great. I'm a real estate agent in the area and I'm looking for vendors to partner with and to give each other referrals. Give each other referrals, right? Do you hear that? I'd love to stop by and meet you and learn a little bit more about you. So you go in, you have a chit chat with them. You add them to your network. And then what I would do is either once a week or at least once a month, I would feature one of my vendors. Go in and do a quick video that I would post on my business Facebook page. You could blast it. You connect him and have him blast it out to everybody on their business Facebook page or on their social media. And suddenly you've just expanded what you do by more than double because it connects them to you, right? When you ask them, so who are the 2 real estate agents that you refer people to? Notice that I said 2 because everybody has at least one. I want to know who the 2 are because I want to be at least the second. And then it's having a conversation. Well, I'm certainly referring to you. How many referrals can I expect from you this year? So it's creating a win-win for you guys. And there should be reciprocal. It's not just them getting from you. You should be able to get from them as well. So these are some of the amazing ways that we can get business out there and find clients. Any other ideas you guys are thinking of while we're sitting here chatting?
Facebook advertising, just getting social media out there that you're in an office of, I don't know how many people we have now, how many agents, but where you're in an office and team of these many agents and just advertising yourself if you're a newer agent that you're working together and this is how much your office's volume is and this is how much you're doing it. So social media could get you leads as well.
Exactly. You work with the #1 brokerage in East Cobb. #1. Actually, I think we're #1 in all of Cobb, not just East Cobb. Okay. And our volume is more than 2 and 3 combined. So it's not just by a little bit, it's by a lot. And that's a good thing. Okay. It shows that we've got strength in the area and one of the top in the city. Okay. So as we're wrapping this up, tell me, I want to hear from each one of you, what is one takeaway that you've gotten from our conversation today? It could be anything, but what's one takeaway? What's one thing that you need to do based on our conversation?
I don't have a Facebook business page. I don't know whether to go stay with the individual or how do you build a business page? I don't know if that's where I should put my efforts.
So you definitely need a business Facebook page because Facebook will shut you down if it's all about business on your personal page. It has to be, it's usually like 80% you and 20% business on your personal. So you need a business Facebook page. And we do have a class that we taught on setting up a business Facebook page. It was on Zoom and it's recorded and it's in the quantrain.com. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who was next?
Just the different ways to really think about how to kind of network with people, just talking with people and like working somewhere else and just kind of sitting somewhere and kind of stringing up conversations with people. So
Absolutely. I know people that have put, I'm a realtor, ask me questions on their laptop, you know, a sign that goes on it, something like that, for people to know that even though I'm sitting here, I'm willing to take questions. It's amazing. Thanks, Lori. Who else? Who's next?
Yeah, my wife actually just ordered me a hoodie that said, what does it say? Real estate is life. So
Nice.
that'll get attention.
It will. It will. It's surprising. I mean, my husband and I wear our logoed shirts out a lot, and it's amazing. Or even just a casual t-shirt, but people go, oh, Keller Williams, isn't that real estate? It gives you an opportunity to have a conversation. Absolutely. Thanks, Jim.
Do they have those shirts at the office that we can buy, or how do you get those?
There is a couple of places. If you go to the mykw.kw.com and look in the vendors, there's the Red Store that has shirts, and there are, I think it's called the Red Store, and they have shirts there. Okay. There's several options, but they have some vendors there. So if you search for apparel, they're going to have it. Okay. All right. Who else? Janice, how about you?
Oh goodness, a lot of takeaways, but yeah, I've been going out more wearing my name tag and have had several people approach me, which is so simple.
Yes. Yeah.
I did have a quick question. Was it Sharka? Sharka. You said you texted your business card. Are you simply taking a picture of your business card and texting it to them?
Yeah. So since I started real estate, like with that, I figured that out very quickly, right at the beginning, that, you know, when you give anybody your business card, they're going to lose it, because that's what I do when someone gives me their card.
Right.
So I just took a picture from my camera. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Keep in mind, another option that you have is you can text them your Keller Williams app. And then they've got your contact information as well. So then they've got both. They've got a way to search for property that's awesome, and they've got a way to connect to you. Sharka, I know you offered lots of information. What did you take away from the conversation with Anna Kalinsky?
Oh, sure. I took away that I need to focus on lead generation and focus my mindset on just expanding my mindset more to expanding this whole thing with Mastermind right now just kind of refocuses my shifts my brain onto my business again. So I took that away, and it just reminded me of all the things I do, and to be more organized and systematic, which, you know, is a work in progress.
It is always a work in progress. Yes.
Julianne,
Yes.
you just triggered something. Years ago when I was in Bold, I had a t-shirt made and I just got it. And I think I've worn it twice, but I'm going to start wearing it every day when I go to the pool. This is the front. Can you see it?
Yeah.
This is the back.
There you go. Who do you know wants to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate? That's the question. Who do you know? I love it.
So I'm going to start wearing it. I haven't worn it in years.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. Melissa, how about you? What's one thing you're going to take away?
To use command to leverage communication with my clients, keep them in the loop, and save time, and be more organized.
Yes, it allows you to do all those things. Command is so awesome. Please embrace it. It should be something that we use every single day, multiple times, to allow us to be smart. So my goal for all of you is that you are business owners, that you run your business like a business. So please mark your calendars for the 26th of October. We have Steve Count, who is a master trainer. He's been a MAPS coach. He's been a team lead. He's been a technology guru within Keller Williams. He runs his own team. He will be here teaching us or walking us through business planning for 2021. So he's doing that. And then on November 2nd, I believe it is, he's doing P&Ls, understanding P&Ls. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you definitely need to be there. A profit and loss statement is important, even in a beginning phase. So understanding and knowing what's going on will be critical for you as you're moving forward. When I coached, I've coached now for 40 something years. I know I don't look it, but thank you very much. I spent
You don't
years.
look it.
Oh, you're so sweet. I was like, come on, you're supposed to say that. No, I'm just teasing
You don't.
But coaching people to think like a business owner is difficult. Okay. We are accustomed to being employees and having an employee mentality, and it's a different hat we need to wear. So as a business owner, I have to make smart decisions that make my company money and ultimately make me money, right? And if I'm making poor decisions, then it's going to affect my time, my energy, my bank account, everything, right? The most important thing you can do is from today on is treat yourself like a business owner. And that means at the end of the day, asking yourself, have I done enough to keep my job? And that's an awesome question to ask yourself. And it's based on your 5 things in your job description that we mentioned earlier. Lead generate, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts, script mastery. If you've done your job, then you should have spent quality time lead generating every single day, and your business will grow. Period. It's simple. It's not easy. Agreed? Awesome. So as you begin to read the MREA, if you haven't already, and if you have, I highly suggest that you reread it. Do me a favor, at the beginning of the book, when you get it, write the date that you start reading it. And every time you reread it, put the date down of when you read it. Because each time you read it, it's going to mean something different to you. You're going to build it. Your brain is going to be in a different place as a business owner. And certain things that didn't make any sense are going to make perfect sense when you get to that level, right? So I'm going to leave you with one last thought. And that is, yeah.
Quick question. I have the original MREA book. There's a new one. Is the only difference the introduction, or do I need to buy the new one?
No, the new one's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
They're revising it, and it has not come out yet. So you have the correct one. Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. So in the MREA, it gives you the different levels to get to millionaire real estate agent, and it shows level 1, level 2, level 3, and it goes all the way to 9 levels. Here's the interesting thing. Most people think I get really, really busy, and the first place that I'm going to leverage my time is by getting a showing assistant, or I need a buyer's agent. And that way I don't have to deal with that. I can just focus on listings. And that is wrong. The first place that you leverage is in your admin. So if you're being a smart business owner from day one and you're leveraging your contract to close, you already have an assistant. You're just paying somebody part-time. Okay, so that's really it. Your very first one is a closing coordinator that you pay contractually when you have things under contract, and that ends up being about a part-time person. Once you've done that and you get so accustomed to it, then you build up to a full-time admin that handles all your contract to close and all of your other marketing and all that kind of stuff. Make sense, everybody? You really need to get to 2 admins before you add a showing assistant and then a buyer, if you're wanting to grow your business that way. I just want to make sure that you understand, as it starts to grow and you start getting crazy busy, the first place people want to do it is in pushing off the stuff they don't want to do. You need to follow the model, because if you follow the model, it's going to work. If you don't, you're going to get all screwed up. And it's all about failing forward, but failing smart. You know, it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes, but we certainly don't want you to be like sucked into a big expense by doing it the wrong way. All right. So get focused, lead generate, and work on building your millionaire real estate business. Okay, y'all? Awesome. I will talk to you soon. Any questions before we head out?
Thank you.
Go make it a great day, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye.
Julianne.
Bye.
Bye.